We're ready? All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's special call meeting. We have three members of our council here, so we're going to go ahead and declare a quorum. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. So we don't have any public comments today, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our discussion and action items. Item A, discuss, consider, and take action to establish the maximum proposed tax rate for the publishing notice of the public hearing and meetings related to adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027 and take a record vote. Do I have a motion for that item?
I don't have no paperwork to see anything.
I don't have any. I even emailed Betsy in the morning and I asked her, is there any way that you could send us so we could study it throughout the day?
Mhm.
I never heard a response from her.
I don't have
Okay.
anything.
So do we have a motion to table or the motion?
She's
failed.
coming right now. She's coming. She
So-
already made her
Yeah,
copies.
but would
No,
rather
I
see
know, I know.
So we have a motion for tabling or just, okay, well, the motion then dies. We'll move to item B. Discuss, consider, and take action on a proposed budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. Do I have a motion for that item?
I make a motion that we table that.
So I have a motion that we tabled it. Do I have a second? So I have a motion by Alderman Huerta to table and a second by Alderman Veit. We'll open it up for discussion. Do you guys want to have any discussion on it? Oh, well, we tabled it, so we'll just go ahead and move on. We're going to vote. Place one,
Yes.
place two,
Yep.
place the four.
No.
So the motion carries 2-1. We will table the item for a later date. Item C, discuss, consider, and take action to adopt a budget and tax rate calendar for the 26-27 fiscal year. So do I have a motion for that?
Make a motion we adopt the calendar.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcon to adopt a calendar. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, because that one is just adopting the budget and tax rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it.
So I'm good with that.
Okay.
And we're
So-
good, like I said, I don't know if y'all want to look at that, just download it. You're fine.
So we have a second by Alderman Huerta. So we'll open it up for discussion. I think that we all kind of know where we're kind of going with this. So we'll go ahead and move on the action item to adopt a budget and tax rate calendar. Place one,
Yes.
place two,
Yes.
place four.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move on to item 3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
What do you got there?
I thought they were just printing, but they're not. You have to be
So-
done by today, or we're gonna be out of time. We have to do it.
Does this have everything that we corrected last night?
Yes, we lost corrections today.
Let's get the cover sheet right there, so that's what we need.
Well, that motion died unless somebody wants to bring it back up. This is item A.
I'd like to bring it back up.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcon to bring item A back on the table. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Alderman Huerta. So let's go ahead and open it up for discussion.
Okay, so. What is the bottom line on this?
So are we going with no
New revenue?
revenue tax rate at 0.5151?
Yes.
Which is lower than one?
Yeah, it went
It's
down.
lower.
It went down. It's to 0.515151 for the,
Look at the very last page. it gives us a breakdown of what it looks like.
Very last-
On the very bottom. So our total tax rolls are 169,867,791. The new revenue rate is 0.515151. The M and O portion is 0.450030, and INS is 0.065121.
What was the INS again?
0.065121,
Okay.
and it brings the revenue at 875,076 for the total.
Okay.
But then the portion that we can use for maintenance operations is 764,456,
Mhm.
and INS is 110,620. And that is to pay for those meter payments and for I think the $20,000 left, the last payment for the water bond.
Betsy, you put all the numbers that we talked about yesterday?
So the changes I made were,
You made salaries too, right? Cost of living and everything?
the salaries for all of them except for the general fund, I reduced to 3% increase. Of just the current salary, so whatever's shown on here, like whatever the projected amount, I didn't multiply that times 3%, just, that's got employees that
Yeah, that's
work
based,
here the full year, or,
based on their eval, right?
yes. And then for the system, I was told to leave it like that, so I left them at the 8%,
On salaries?
yes. For the system salaries.
I said that the expenses could stay at 8%. Because you were raising something, or you were using a 12%.
No, I was told to do the 12% on all sales, fees, and fines.
Right, that's
Right.
revenue. That's revenue.
I increased the
Okay.
sales, fees, and fines.
But
by
then,
12%.
but then whenever I said the 8% can just stay in the expenses because they've already been increased. So I just said to leave them at what they were at the 8%. I didn't say anything about salaries.
I understood it as salary, and it's just on the system fund, I understood it as salary, so
No, I don't think 8% should be on any fund.
There's not. On page 34 is 3%. Page 34.
But she's talking about salaries and system.
Well, that's,
the budget is salary, but I have everybody's salary outside of page 34.
is that what they,
Okay,
is that right? She didn't do the, she did 3, right?
right.
So that's what we wanted, right?
This is right.
Page 34
Yes.
shows.
That's what it's.
Yes, I'm looking at it.
The budgeted amount
And that's fine.
could go down,
Mhm.
So that's good.
but in order to get the 12%,
Then 8% here.
we may need to raise, I guess, the fees to be able to get there.
Fees on what?
I guess when we get the fee schedule. Like trash and.
And what about the other two clerks?
I just have them at the 3%.
I thought we weren't supposed to have but one.
I didn't take them off for this purpose.
Well, we really couldn't discuss that, could we? Just start eliminating jobs at this budget? I mean, it was,
Well, you can because that's part of the,
It's part of our budget.
that's part of the
If
budget.
you're deleting, my understanding, because I was kind of listening to y'all's conversation, is, and I'm waiting to get with Epi. If you're deleting or wanting to delete a position for financial purposes, but if you're deleting one position to basically create a second position, there might be some questions about
Yeah.
that.
We were doing that.
Because that's kind of what, from the conversation that I saw last night, that was kind of what the discussion was, that you're asking to delete a position so we can fund a separate position.
No, the
so-
second position would be
No.
code enforcement.
We just said that
The other
that
position,
wasn't created.
one of
that
these positions
position
was never created.
It's doing
Sal
the
just did it.
position of what she's supposed to be
And like,
doing and
I
was
went
hired.
back and I read my job description, and it doesn't say anything about, it's like review of the accounts payable. It's not like. data
So,
entry. I
My,
don't mind doing it, but
my recollection, and just kind of because some people's names were mentioned at the meeting last night, was for the 24, I believe it was a 24, I think, Lisa, you and I spoke of 24-25 budget,
24-25.
that was approved, that position was approved with the salary increase
Right.
for that particular individual.
Right.
So, so it was approved in that 24-25 budget with that salary pay increase, kind of as a, I guess, would be, well, I don't want to say, bookkeeper position, was it?
Right.
And that was
So,
brought before council.
yes, the budget was approved.
It was approved.
It's,
But
Well, the budget can be amended anyway, at any time.
Well-
It just goes back to the ordinance that who created that position.
well, it was brought up in the council meeting,
It was
and
brought up.
looking back at those
Mhm.
council
Like I said,
recordings,
it can always be changed. We
so.
just feel that, we're not creating another position.
it's not we, I didn't want to, that, to me, this is it, that's where we're gonna, the budget is this piece of paper, we'll worry about the rest later. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This is for budget, not to start eliminating jobs,
two.
putting people
Well,
around
it is
here.
part of the budget, you see, you always.
But the,
Well,
but the
that's why you
budget,
need-
but the budget that y'all worked on last night, and she sent it to me, and I was looking at it, to me, that's a good budget as is. Now, if once, we get through this, because we're kind of on a time crunch with all this, if we want to kind of discuss, potentially, changing positions and maybe, like you said, it can always be amended. We can always go back and say, okay, well, we're going to,
Create jobs.
reassign this position. We're going to give it a different title, a different pay scale,
We do
different
that. It's
job
over with.
description.
Well, like I stated too, remember I said, let's do a workshop on it later on, after we get all this, let's do a workshop, and then we all either gonna streamline and reassign and do all that, but right now we're in budget. We gotta do budget, we ain't got
Yeah,
time.
I think if we're looking at the city's finances as a whole and we want to try to save money, because if you guys recall, the last few years, we had a contingency in there to put away. I think 14% of our approved operation budget. That's not in this. So we're not putting really any money away. We're basically we're budgeting to spend pretty much everything. And we're not going back to trying to put money away like we had discussed initially, to try to get our reserve funds up in case there was an emergency or something came up that we needed. Natural disaster, or even just disaster in-house, issue with any of our infrastructure or anything. We don't have, if we have about a 1 month worth of reserve funds, if we had something happened to the city. And for the last 3 years, I believe, we had approved as part of the budget a 14%, putting away 14% of our annual operating budget.
And that is in
Um,
general? That was general?
Yeah, I think,
Because
I don't know,
I
I'd
see
have to-
something
I'd have
in
to go back.
system.
I'd have to go back and look. It was kind of an overall operating budget. And our goal was to get to where we could potentially, on a yearly basis, save about 25%.
And there is a
of our.
25% in system. It says 25% expense reserve in system.
What page are you on?
27.
It says -74, isn't
But
it?
that's a,
You-
no,
you
a
said-
negative is a,
Well, her negative is probably different than our
No.
negative. Is that negative page,
that means there should be
27?
funds in there.
Page 20.
27
27?
at the bottom.
Oh, this other side. Okay, I'm
Under
looking at the
net
middle
transfer.
number.
See, in that case, it's.
It says 25% reserve.
So I have 1,600 for the 25% expense reserve.
But that's not 25% of our overall, I mean, you just put in there 1,600, so that's no,
Then
That's not enough to pay payroll, is it?
Hmm?
That's not enough to pay 1 month of payroll.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
decreasing, so what you're doing is you're decreasing that figure.
well, in order for the budget to, you know,
So last year's, the 26 budget is to put 76,000 in there.
mhm.
And that didn't happen.
Well, it's still, we're still in this year.
But you're
But right
predicting that
now
it's
we're-
not going to happen.
Right now, we're at, I think, like 53,000 is what we're a surplus for this year. So, if you know how the,
So we're kind of going back to, like, we're going to spend every cent, and the only way that she could balance this out was to cut that 25% expense reserve to 1,600. And I think,
but we're still not balanced, because we still have like a $627,000 deficit, which is it's due to all the capital things that we need. The wastewater treatment, the capital equipment that we need to be able to, and the TCEQ, and like
the fines,
The
all of
SEPs,
those
the
things.
SEPs, the contingency of the water
And I
tower.
think for these purposes, we'll have to put some kind of, because there's no way we can get that amount, because then that's not something that we should be expected to be able to pay for in 1 year. So we put contingency on a loan.
Is there not a way that you can, every month, and of course, I'm going back, is there not a way that you can take a 3% figure and after you've got, let's say after you balance the month or after you paid bills for the month or whatever, and just allocate 3% into general system garbage each month? It's kind of like it's like in your own personal budget. You're going to set so much back so that you have, in case you have an emergency.
But
Because
where's she getting the
that
money?
used to be done.
Where she gets
well, the
it?
issue
Well-
is that the way it was done before is that they were taking money from the general fund and putting it into a separate account so they could pay other things, but it wasn't being recorded in our financial system.
No, that's not
So
what I'm talking about.
In order to do that 3%, I don't even know if Encode is set up to where we
You can't
can.
set it up as
I
like,
like that, I like your thought.
well, but I mean,
But it's like, we could just do 3% of the budget, like,
in each, well, yeah, I mean, I do that at my church. We set aside 5% each month. I write a check to this fund and I put 5% of our revenue that we brought in, and I put it in this fund, and it's for building fund in case we have an emergency. And I know we used to do that every month. Of course,
Mhm.
I
Let me
will
see if
say,
that's
we had
even-
money back then, I understand. But if it's part of your monthly expenses, it just becomes a part of moving it. I don't see why that couldn't be something that I have to do that because my board said, you need to move 5%.
Mhm.
And I have to make a check that they sign every month to put into that fund. I have no choice. And just pray that we get the money, the donations in.
I guess the way the pool cash is set up, it's kind of like it should be in one bank.
I understand
But I guess
that,
it
but
would
it's
be
not.
better to put it
It's a
3%
combined,
in at the end of the year and put it into a CD.
yeah, it's a combination of all the funds, and that's the way Encode set it up. That's not what we wanted, but that's what they did. Because back then, the council wanted to know, well, how much is in such and such one? Well, I can't tell you because it's all in the pool cash. I don't know what the breakout is. They didn't even give us that. So I'm just saying, is there any way that we could incorporate that to where then at the end of the year, we can see, okay, oh, yay, we got a little bit of reserve here in general. We have a little bit of reserve here in system. We have a little bit of reserve here in garbage.
The only thing we probably could do that is by the delinquent taxes. We collect more, stick it in there, right?
Whatever. I'm just saying,
That's
we
the
will
only thing we
never,
get extra money is delinquent taxes.
yeah, we will never be able to afford anything in reserve
No.
if we don't allocate it and make it,
Yeah.
I guess, law or whatever you want to call it.
Well, that was what was passed when we discussed this initially. Was basically it was voted on that we would do this each year. We would have. I'm just kind of looking to see, going to my legal here.
It's
The
not
council
being done.
could adopt a policy. Well, it's kind of done at the end of the year, depending on if we even meet that, as far as if we're able to even meet that 14% or 25%.
Well, I think 25 is a little high, but
Well, that's what the other cities, we kind
I
of, when we
understand,
were
but with us
working.
being in this financial situation that we're in, I think that's a little
I'm glad
high
that you
goal
agree
for us.
we are in a financial situation.
Well, we are. I mean, there's no doubt
because,
about that, no.
25% might be too much.
25% is, it could even be 10%, but
But
something.
Something,
we could,
a little, nice thing.
go to, but I would have to go through EPI to make sure, but
Sure.
it does say that we could, our type of city, the general law, we could establish and fund a rainy day or reserve fund, and the council would adopt a policy directing that 3% of certain revenues be set aside each month. So, we can do that by establishing some kind of policy.
Well,
I
I
think it'd be best to do it when everyone's here. So,
I agree, but I'm just thinking that's something, and we need to set it at a goal that we don't feel like we're never going to make.
now we do have to understand that if you're going with a number, 3%, because you've worked in the city before, revenue each month is a little bit different.
Sure.
Because when taxes are coming in, you got a lot of money. So 3% of the month of January is going to be a lot higher than 3% this
Well, and there'll
month or
probably
next
be
month. So
Whatever our revenue is on the lowest times are going to be pennies. So I mean,
Yeah.
I understand it. I think it
It's gonna
would make it-
fluctuate.
Yes.
now, I don't know where you got the 3% from, but
Oh, I just threw it out there.
okay. So
I just threw a number out there. I
we might
I
want to
don't
look.
have any way of.
Yeah,
knowing.
we might want to just look at that and see if that number is
Well,
even
even
kind of a good.
10% would be something, but I want us to have something in there that we feel we can achieve and not feel like that we're always grasping for it.
So I think right now, just kind of looking at kind of going on this legal website, basically says they wouldn't recommend 3% for all city revenue because some revenues may be legally restricted. So again, we'd have to see like the garbage
I don't think
fund,
that's what
utilities
Village Oaks set
fund.
aside. was 3%. Yeah, that's where I got my 3%. Billy Joe, that was the amount that Billy Joe set aside in each of those funds, and we would move it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea. We just kind of have to understand that, some months
It's
that
going to be
3% is
thin.
going to be a little thin,
Sure.
compared to other months. But let's get kind of Epi's, stamp of approval. I don't think there's any question that we can do it personally, but, at least getting him, and then of
Okay.
course we'd have to have him write
So-
up some type of.
So then does that,
But but shouldn't it be that part of the public investment?
sure, it should.
Mhm.
I think so.
Portfolio
Yeah.
to do that.
If you go
But
to
we haven't
public,
done that in how many years?
well,
Because we're supposed to have one every year.
for
Like,
quite a while.
Hasn't been done in 5 years.
Yeah,
Yep,
at
see,
least
and
I don't
and
know
that's
who's
part of,
Up to date on the training, who all have been. But
we
there
see,
probably
somebody
needs to
should have
be more.
been,
I've been to it, so we're, I guess, legal, but we need to have more people going to it that way.
Exactly. I went to one when I was
I would
secretary,
say-
but that's the
yeah.
last time I went.
See, that's where it comes in, that you can put your 3% and, we're gonna do this.
The public investment.
Yeah.
Personnel, which
Yeah.
is us,
Yeah,
is the ones that decides on the CDs,
right.
how much they mature and all that. That's when we can discuss
Yeah.
a little bit more about.
But I think that's a good idea. I mean,
I mean-
we might want to look at the number, see what's best overall. And the only reason I'm saying that is because come tax season, we're going to be putting away a lot of money compared to, what we would be right now.
Sure.
So do we really want to be putting away that kind of money? Because it's also the time of the year when we're trying to pay off, a lot of things, trying to, get a lot of things done when we are, I guess, revenue heavy, we're trying to get a lot of things
Well,
done.
I
But
don't think there should be any exceptions. If we're going to do it, we need to
I
do it
agree.
regardless.
yeah, that's just why I'm saying
Regardless
we
of
might
situations.
want to kind of focus on what the number's going to be. I mean, 3% to me doesn't sound bad, actually.
No.
Um,
Uh,
So,
We can visit that probably out of the budget,
yeah, I mean, we could get,
And like Billy said, we can amend the budget.
That's fine.
yeah, I
But
mean,
I mean,
And
right now,
then-
we're in a crunch.
In that
This-
case,
This budget is changeable, because there's still like, we need to
Sure.
have a budget hearing, and
Yeah,
there's still budget workshops to refine it.
right.
yeah. And it's just,
More of the starting point of inviting the public to come and.
I mean, a budget is just
Something.
a guide.
Yeah.
That
Well,
can
I
be,
still don't feel comfortable passing it after last night's discussion, because again, that means we would have to go back to the drawing board on, 60,000 and 36. That means we're paying 2 people for 1 position, 96,000, and then they get 10,000 from EDC. That throws it way over 100,000 for the same description. So I mean, I know y'all saying it could be amended, but y'all just finished saying, well, yeah, but y'all passed the budget. Well, yeah, I think that was when Paul Bain was here, and it was snuck. A lot of stuff was snuck in there, but
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're giving you, they give you the information.
It's just the code, it's not the
Yeah.
adoption.
Yeah.
It's not the final one. We
Um,
still gotta go through the, the schedule fee yet, right? We haven't done the schedule fee yet.
so I think the main thing for today was the tax
Yes.
calendar, I mean, the tax, proposed tax rate, which we've already, have we already voted on, we brought it back to the table?
Yes.
on the tax proposal, right?
Right, item A.
Yep.
Consider to take action to establish the maximum proposed tax rate for publishing notice of the public hearing.
1.51 is the max we go anyway,
Yeah.
period,
Yeah,
in a conversation.
so I think for item B, it was already tabled, so, I mean, we've had a little discussion on it,
Yeah.
which maybe
really
we shouldn't have.
It's my fault.
We're supposed to take like a record vote.
So for item A, for item A, I think we can go ahead and, are y'all ready to take a vote on it?
Explain that so we all understand. 0.51 is the max we can do, if item A, correct?
So
Let me get this
I
straight.
have not heard anything from the Attorney General, but I reached out to them to clarify, because TML is of the stance that we don't have to do we're not restricted to no new revenue until next
Yeah,
year.
because we don't have audits.
But the Attorney General makes it sound like, no, you're restricted right now. And I think the Attorney General sounds a lot more, has a lot more authority than TML.
Yeah.
But, and you really don't want to probably be the guinea pig.
So then if we don't have that, then what, do we even adopt a figure? We don't then adopt a figure, right?
Well, the public needs to know though.
I know.
So that's why you propose that no new tax.
And you could, because I think
That's what I said today.
last
Well, that's
year,
just to establish that.
last year there was discussions of, can we go with the higher rate?
The voter
But-
approval and all that, but we can't even touch that.
Well, last time we caught ourselves, we
But y'all-
wanted to, and then Marcy came and said, y'all can't do it.
But y'all still proposed that rate, because they said if you don't propose that rate,
You can't go there.
if we find out next week
That we can.
that y'all can, we can't go up.
If we've
You're
already
right.
done it.
So you have
We
to
always go
propose
down,
something.
And that's why it was done that way.
Then maybe we should go for the max of the other one, no. Even though we don't have our own.
The new rate is cheaper. The voter approval rate is 0.61, right?
Mhm.
Page 5. So do we approve the voter approval rate of 0.61? And we can always go down. Is that right, Betsy?
We could always go down, but
Just can't go up.
We just can't go up.
we still haven't heard anything, and the TML saying one thing.
To be on the safe side, we're gonna do the voter approval rate, 0.61. Because there's no way we can do these.
Well, I think I'd rather do it that way and be able to go down.
Go down?
Well, that's what we did last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just do
saying.
it that
We
way.
can do that right now, and we
Yeah.
can always go down.
That's fine.
We all happy with that?
I'm okay
And we
with
will
that.
have to have a tax rate hearing.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. But that's, at least we know 0.61 something.
Well, we still have to publish it in a
Yeah,
newspaper. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
but
we
it has
have
to be
that.
done this week.
So this is basically say, hey, this is
Can't
it.
put it in the paper this week.
And the deadline is Thursday.
When would you put it in the paper?
The deadline is put in the
Thursday.
paper to get it, I guess, in the Friday paper is Thursday at noon, or tomorrow at noon. That's what we need to have this tonight.
We all happy with 0.61? If I
I'm
make a
fine with
motion, we
0.6.
approve the
I'm happy with that.
voters approval
Like
tax
I
rate.
said, if they say you can't do it, then
We're still in good
we just
shape.
go, okay.
Go back
then
to the
we'll just go
5-1.
with the No new revenue tax rate, that's
Okay. 0.5.
5-1, 5-1, 5-1.
It's fine.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm gonna do my motion. I'd like to make a motion. that-
So, hold on, before we, and just kind of looking here. So what I'm reading here says legally, our city may adopt a tax rate higher than its voter approval rate, but it may trigger a required voter approval election. So,
Right.
so we can go ahead with that, but like this says that it might trigger a required voter approval election if we're going to try to go with that.
Hi-
I think
Higher.
if it's above.
It's higher.
If it's above the
It's above.
6-1,
We can say
we can't
0.7.
do above 6-1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Without a
last year,
vote.
or was it 2 years ago, when Paul Bain was here, that
you want to do
Try
the
to-
other one.
we tried to go over the voter.
Yeah, we tried to go to the
0.85
de minimis,
something
de
like that.
minimis.
We can't do that one.
No.
Yeah, so,
Right.
well, I mean, we also have to consider that we're gonna have a water rate increase coming as well, so that's gonna go back on the customer. You know, we might have to look at garbage rates as well, so we're gonna be putting back a lot back at the customer, and if we're gonna increase their taxes also, the school, I think, increased their taxes already too for that, bond that they got, so, but okay, go ahead, make your motion,
I'll
sir.
Make a motion that we approve the voters approved tax rate 0.618399/100 for the 26-27 budget.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
So I have a motion by Alderman Falcon to approve the tax rate of 0.618399 per 100, and second by Alderman Veidt. If there's no more discussion, we'll move on to a vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2,
Yes.
place 4.
Yes.
So the motion carries 3-0. And now do I have a motion to adjourn?
How about the proposed budget?
I think,
Can we do B or we gotta
We'd have to bring it back on the table.
I feel more comfortable that she makes all the changes that we request.
So, all right, so I have a motion to adjourn.
What you ought to do also,
Then we can't put, I guess, 'cause this has to be in the paper tomorrow at noon.
Just the numbers. This cover sheet, this number right here. That's all you got.
Yeah,
That's all you got.
that's all you have to put.
But from the proposed budget, we have 30 days to pass it, which puts us,
yeah, we got
the
30
next,
days.
it would be one other meeting.
We've done it before where we've done it at the last minute.
Yeah.
We've even gone
But
over.
this is what she needs to be in the paper right here.
Right.
Yeah,
But we
Exactly.
also need to do a budget hearing in the paper. Like, we need the
Yes.
tax hearing and the budget hearing.
Yes. But I think we ought to have another workshop on that time, that you should make all the changes and stuff as we requested.
All right, so I need to have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion to adjourn, second by, and the meeting's adjourned.
So that's all you got to put in is that.
I
Yeah.
talked to Mr. Goosh, and he was like, yeah, we're right up to the
We only
deadline.
have a meeting on
Make sure you get
September
the
first.
two present too.
We already have a meeting on September first.
That's all. Hey, 8/26/26.
Thank you, Ms. Donna. Appreciate your time. I apologize for not being here. My mom had surgery.